Ah, yes. Ah, yes. I fucking love knobs. Baby. Oh, thank you for the 1 fucking year. Oh, oh, that's hot. That's hot. I'm wearing my oldest, like, most fucked up eggplant shirt. Oh, oh, so bright. Wow. Tell me that's not beautiful. New room? Yeah, new room. Look, we have room for activities. Oh. All right. Sorry, like, I just got home, so I'm just still, like, cleaning everything up. It's a random long fucking key. Ah, I was charging my mouse with it. Okay, let's unplug that. Oof. Wait, it's Wednesday. Thought it was Tuesday. Yep, me too. All right, just overhead work. Are you working? Yeah, it's working. Fuck yeah. Science. So fucking good at science, bro. So fucking good at science. I know sure as shit you didn't wear that shirt to work. If you paid attention very closely during my getting prepared sequence, I actually was wearing a different shirt. I just changed it. All right, let me post in the place. Damn, I swear to fucking God. Stop it. Like, literally fucking stop it. It's distracting. Fuck! You see what you've done? There. Do they make you cover the tats at work? What do you... That would be terrible. I mean, that would only be necessary if I worked in, like, a really shitty company that was, like, customer facing. Like, for an airline or, like, a fancy restaurant or some shit. Which I do not. I do not work in the service industry because I am not that big of a cuck. How is my day? The day is going good. It's going well. Let me just arrange this sexily. Is that good? Okay, that's still not where I want it. Okay, that's better. Nice. Pop open a cold one. Oh. New setup is much cleaner. Yeah, I still have yet to do the, like, audio dampening. I have the materials right here. I've got like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I fucking 12, love 13, knobs. 14, 15 foams in this one hand. And some more foam on the floor over there. Oh, Petrov, thank you. Holy shit, still trying to get a refund. Imagine. Fuck. Bro, this shirt actually, like, looks terrible because, like, it wasn't even folded. It's kind of cold in here. Simon, do you weld? Is this a these nuts joke? Like, I'ma weld these nuts into your mouth or something? God, I hope it is. Alright, we got a keyboard, by the way. Is that the real tree leaf? It's a keyboard. Look at it. So good. We're gonna open it using this. We're actually not. Because I don't know how to do that. I mean, I could. I could theoretically open the box with this hammer. I have ideas. Do it, pussy. I have a strategy. So here's my strategy, okay? If I rub the corner with this really... Okay, yeah, this isn't rough enough. This is too smooth of a hammer. But theoretically, if I had enough time, I could just rub it on the plastic till it heats up enough and opens. Any Kryn review avail? Don't worry, it will come eventually. It will come. Alright, let's just unplug this beautiful Alice and put it somewhere else.
You guys have many choices in keyboard streamers, and you made the wrong choice.
What's up, Stoddle and Stoddle enjoyers? Alright, we got ourselves a Keychron Q3. A TKL mechanical keyboard. An open source customizable keyboard for peak productivity. We're gonna check if that's true. QC by number 3. Not the best QC. Alright, so TKL layout. Using the most popular keyboard layout on the market, Q3 meets all the... Fuck this, I'm not gonna read the things. What am I, fucking apiary? Just gonna check it out. Oh yeah. It is 6063 aluminum. That I actually do care about, because it could have been like something shittier. So, CNC 6063 and sound absorbing foam, which we're definitely gonna remove. Hi there, I have a question. Do you know where I can get a good 83% keyboard that's wireless? What's an 83%? Is that a wink? Wait. I do have an 83%. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Fucking open the box, bitch. There we go. Alright. We've got foam. We've got... Make sure your switch pins are straight before inserting the switch in. Please be gentle. And make sure to align the pins with the socket properly. Yeah. We're not going to be doing that. There's a user manual. Right there. We're not going to read that. Alright, we've got feet and random screws of different sizes. I've got an M2 Phillips head. I've got a M3.5 hex and another M3.5 hex. I don't know what the fuck these are for, but we'll find out. There's some switches, some keycaps, because I assume the keycaps on it are Mac keycaps for big cucks. Okay. There's a C to C cable with a C to A adapter on one side. Okay, fine. Let's test out the cable. There's a ferrite choke on it for no reason. Yeah, so this is like the K8 cable, where like it retains its bends, which is not a good thing. Like, I mean, it is a new cable, Actually, it's not as bad as the K8 cable. The K8 cable is a lot worse. Like this, I can just like kind of like just pull it straight, and it'll still stay somewhat straight. The K8 cable was like, ooh, spicy. All right, comes in a bag. That feels decently heavy. Let's weigh it before we take the foam out. And there's a quick start guide way at the bottom in such a way that like you can't even pull it out. There we go. Oh, okay, that's pretty dope. Keycap puller, switch puller, Phillips head screwdriver, and Allen wrench. All right, we're not really gonna care about this anyways, so let's throw it away. All right, let's find out what this weighs. All right, it is aluminum. It actually is aluminum. Nice. Let's do a initial weight before we remove all the naughty. It's 2 kilos. Fully built. That's a decent weight for a TKL. Like, it feels decently hefty. Like, 2 kilos is decently solid. Right, let's get an initial. This sounds way higher pitch. This sounds way higher pitch than the K8. The K8. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay. Okay. Honestly? No, don't worry. I'll do a proper sound test. Huh. That's interesting. Where's the port? Okay, the port is like weird and on the left, which fine, I guess. Let's plug it in. It's on Windows mode, right? No, it's on Mac mode. There we go. Let's just plug it in. At least it's not on the side. Yep, that is a large improvement. Okay, this literally isn't even gonna fit because my fucking monitor is in the way. Enjoy my beautiful hair. Oh no, RGB. Okay, let's consult the chart. Backlight, function Q, function tab. There. Yeah, this actually sounds like a keyboard. The K8 sounded like foam. So I think like the foam usage in this is to kind of like get it in line for like what a keyboard should sound like. All right, let's see what it sounds like initially. By the way, the Mosque is going wild. So you're going to hear a lot of the Mosque. All right, sound test, sound test. Where's my sound test button? There's. Nice. Not in focus. Thank you, Treeleaf. The sound is supposed to be in focus. Okay. It sounds terrible. Cool. Well, at least now we know it sounds terrible. I don't know what's going on with the backspace, but I feel like there might be a hole in the foam, and the hole is like around here and around here. Because these two keys sounded bad. What's the name of the song in the background? It's called Living in a Country That Has Mosques. All right. Yeah, the spacebar sounds fine. The mod's not so great.
I fucking love knobs.
Can I have a Ron kit? Okay, just for you. Just for you. Also, why is Zamb here? Wow, why is he being sneaky? Why are you being sneaky, bro? Alright, to be fair, like, the anodization looks fine. It's black. It's very hard to fuck up black. It's very fingerprinty. And in terms of smoothness, it's not like mega smooth. It's maybe like 150 grit. Alright, I guess I'm kissing another alligator. I'll make this one extra sexy, okay? Extra sexy alligator. Wow. The map Windows button is a nice touch for the lay user who doesn't want to fuck with key mapping. Yeah, but the thing is, like, if you don't want to fuck with key mapping, then you're buying an OEM. If you're buying an OEM, buy the K8. It's significantly cheaper, and it sounds better out of the box. Like, this is an attempt to appeal to the entry-level enthusiast crowd, from what I understand. Because, like, it's all aluminum, they went 60-63, but, like, it just sounds so weird. We'll find out why it sounds weird. This is one of those reasons it was sent to me. It was sent to me to be like, hey, tell us what's wrong with the sound. And we figured out what's wrong with the sound, but now let's figure out, like, why that is wrong with the sound. The screws are fucking fantastic. Look at these screws. Like, all the things that don't matter, they've done right. That screw right there. Like, that's a decent looking screw, look at it. It's got printing and knurling and all that shit. You know? That's a good screw. Unfortunately, the keyboard the keyboard sounds like half like a keyboard and half of like a snare drum. Pretty short screw. Yeah. No, I mean, that's not an issue. I don't see it as an issue. Unless we open up and the internals are completely like nonsense. Which they might be. Let's find out. I know that they're using standard 3M bump-ons. These look like 12mm, which is like super weird. Because the feet on the K8 were pretty good. Sound is pretty easy to fix. Well, think of it as like what you're actually getting out of the box. Because anything that comes with keycaps, you have to consider what are you getting out of the box. Because the average user is going to pick this up, hit the backspace a couple times, and be like, oh my god, custom keyboard sounds so bad and stupid. I can't believe I spent money on this. And also, like, the only layout available is normie layout, so. Alright, let's open it up. Well, that's very convenient. So there's this, which this does nothing acoustically. This is like, oh yeah, we're supposed to taste test all the things. It tastes like a pillow. So this is one of the foams, but there's a big fucking piece of foam here. Oh no, there isn't. There's barely any. Yeah. And this is like what, taped down? Glued down. Yeah, there's a little dab of glue holding that in. So this piece exists simply to prevent shorting. The only dampening actually under the PCB is this. This is fucking doing nothing. I assume that there's All right, let me remove this JST because last time I broke it. I assume that there's padding between the plate and the PCB. Okay, wait. Does the daughter board have to be removed to remove the plate? Yep, the daughter board needs to be removed to remove the plate. Mighty big brain of you. Yeah, there we go. Alright, so this is a much simpler daughter board than the daughter board we saw on the K8, because this doesn't need to do wireless or a battery or something like that. So it's simple enough, it's just got a single dip switch here to switch between PC and Mac mode, which, okay, fine. I assume literally what this does is it toggles a key on the key map that functions as a a momentary layer key, and that's it. Okay, there's a spot here for grounding, but it's not being used. Yep, there's a shit ton of foam between the plate and the PCB. What? Why are there alignment pillars in the plate? Okay, just so you guys know what I'm talking about. There's an alignment pillar here, which kind of, you know, gets the plate to stay where it should stay, right? But then, if I were to lift the plate entirely and look just at the top piece, there's also an alignment pillar here, randomly. And you, like, what? And then this? I mean, the nice thing is if you look very closely, they're coated with a little piece of plastic. So, there's the pillar. Camera. Am I on manual focus? No, I'm on autofocus. Okay. So that's the alignment pillar, and it's got basically a little plastic condom over it. See that? Just to prevent the sound and feeling of metal contacting metal. Okay. There's small little pieces of foam that essentially sit between the case top and the case bottom, which, what the fuck? Okay, there's so many things here that make no fucking sense to me. Because, like, you have an actual top. And you have an actual bottom, right? That means you can actually just sandwich mount this, because you do have side mounting points. The fact that you have side mounting points means that, realistically, the plate is not going to move left or right or up and down, so you don't need to drill holes in this incredibly sus plate. And then, like, I don't get this. So I don't get why they're drilling through this and adding alignment pillars when you have tabs for the actual mounting. That's part one. Part two are these. It's just these random pieces of rubber that exist to, like, just make sure the top and the bottom, like, don't pass sound through each other. It's to stop the pain between the top and bottom case? Yeah, but that's not an underlying issue because you're gasket mounted. The whole point of being gasket mounted is all of the typing sounds on the plate are isolated to the plate, right? Which means the case will have its own sound, the plate will have its own sound, right? They kind of make sounds independent of one another, right? But then you have actual connection points. And that doesn't explain the backspace. The backspace just sounds like a really bad stab. But then it was also super pingy, which is kind of sus. All right, listen. There's so many things wrong with this. And then like this bottom phone, this does nothing. That's why when I typed on it, I'm like, oh, wait a second. This sounds a lot higher pitched than the K8 because the K8 had actual foam in it. This, yeah. Yeah. All right, let's figure out this backspace. Let's solve one problem at a time because the backspace is fucked. I know that's fixable. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. This sounds nasty. All right, here. You guys want to hear what the stab sounds like just when I move it? Just a stab alone? For reference, I'll do another stab because some of the stabs are fine. Actually, they're both kind of, eh. Okay, so this sounds... All the stabs sound kind of shit. The stabs in the K8 are significantly better. Oh no, they're lubed. You can see the lube point. Where's my finger? There's. You can see that lube there. There's no lube actually inside. It's just on the wire. So there's no actual stab lube because you can tell. Just like I flick it and I can hear it rattling around. But the wire is very quiet. I mean, okay. The K8 stab sounded like phenomenally better. I have no idea what kind of stabs there are. Let's see. Screw-in stabilizer. Yep, it sure is. It sure is. Like, honestly, it sounds better out of its case. Like, this is a keyboard that actually sounds better without being... Yep, this sounds way better without the case. Here, I'll typing test this. You guys remember how bad it sounded in the case, right? Stabs still, yeah, the stabs are still not great, and the stabs can be repaired. But this is the first keyboard that I have ever typed on where the case actually makes it sound bad. Interesting. All right. I mean, like, it makes sense because, like, there is like acoustic dampening between the plate and the PCB, so they're doing that. This plate feels like oddly thick. This plate feels like suspiciously thick. Let's do some investigation because like This kind of feels like a steel plate. It probably isn't, but it feels like one. Nope, that's anodization. Okay. No, it's not steel. It's not steel. That's ano. I know how ano scratches. Remove the plate foam. I think this is one of those keyboards where we'll probably need to put in case foam. All right, I mean, we can lube the stabs. That'll fix the stabs. But then how do we fix the case sounding like shit? I mean, one of the things we can do is remove this nonsense foam that they put all over the place between the top and bottom, because that does nothing. As a matter of fact, that's more problematic than helpful. If I had a Dremel, I'd remove these alignment points because they're not needed either, and they're a liability. You sent me a DM. Well, I can't open it without a keyboard. Keychron says it's a steel plate. Okay, really? So I wasn't wrong. That's really well coated steel then. Interesting. That is quite interesting. Huh. Or I have a bad screwdriver? Well, no, but like what I was trying to do was just get at it deep enough to where I could see underneath the scratch. Come on. Where I could see underneath the scratch. And that looks like an ano scratch. But apparently it's not. That's a coating scratch. So, yeah. Okay, so it is a steel plate. That explains the weight. Like, this feels oddly heavy. Okay. So how do we like resolve this case? Because like, I guess we do stabs first, because like the thing that sounded the worst on the fully assembled unit was the backspace. Are the pillars made of plastic? No, it's the same piece of aluminum as the case, and it's covered with like a little condom. See if I can pop the condom out. Yeah, no, that condom is on there. It's probably like glued. That's not coming out. Okay, I have a theory. Now I have theory. This foam could be tolerance issues. This foam could actually be. I mean, it's not foam. It's rubber. This rubber could be to resolve tolerance issues, where like the top wasn't sitting properly on the bottom where it should have sat. I do not have a Dremel, but like there isn't that much play. Where'd I put the mallet? I still have it. All right, well, fuck it. Let's fix the stabs first. Let's attack the things we can actually attack. It's supposed to be a force break, but Keychron kind of messed it up and it all compressed. Yeah, but from an acoustic standpoint, you have to consider that, one, this is gasket mount, right? So the case is going to act like a case, and the plate is going to act like a plate, as if they're in like two separate places, right? Although like the sound from typing is going to go in the case and whatnot.
Generally, you want to create a chamber in which you can dissipate airborne vibrations. By having the top case contact the bottom case, you're allowing that vibration to move between the two and therefore dissipate more easily. When you're like separating them, then the top case is going to make its own sound and the bottom case is going to make its own sound. And that means the top case is going to sound higher pitched than the bottom case because it's a significantly thinner and smaller object. Which then means, what the fuck are you doing? Like, I don't get the logic. Yeah, even the spacebar needs a shit ton of lube. I'm just gonna attack it with a bunch of super lube because I can't be asked to like actually disassemble this. So I'm gonna overlube the shit out of it with super lube from like every possible angle, and then just shove it up in there. And hopefully that helps a little bit. Did my angle already arrive? It did not. It did not. It should be arriving sometime soon. I'm actually like kind of excited and kind of terrified because like Alex built a pre-production version, not a production, but a pre-production, and it sounded kind of shitty. Is that why Cypher is good? Bigger top case? Well, no, it doesn't matter because your top and bottom case meet together and basically work together in a build, right? You don't want to separate your top from your bottom, otherwise, what the fuck are you doing? In cases in which there is a mid piece, for example, simply having a small piece of metal between the top case and the bottom case will actually increase the pitch of your build. Historically, going off of like, before Teha Types fucking shows up in the comments like, Simon, this is not science. Where's the experimental hypothesis? But with boards like the E6V2, with like boards with like a very thin mid piece, you notice that the pitch does go up because instead of having the top contact the bottom directly, you're interfacing through a small piece of material. I mean, listen, this is helping, okay? This is helping. Just nobody freak out. Did you miss anything? We typed on it initially and it sounded real bad. Real bad. Like surprisingly bad. Like the K8 sounded way better. All right. If you have a 4-pronged stem holder, that I do not. It's okay. There's like enough lube here to like feed a small village. Is this worse than the board we don't talk about? Well, we don't talk about it. I mean, they sound better. I know you can't hear it because it's not on sound test mode. Before I was like, oh, with Simon. Oh, I paused the music. God damn it. Why was the music paused? Nobody even told me the music was paused. I want a refund. These do look like Gad Browns. Indeed. I did not request Gad Browns. I just got them against my will. What about acrylic mid pieces like the Orion? Is the acrylic mid piece on the Orion an actual mid piece or is it a diffuser layer? What I mean is there a very clear separation of the two pieces of aluminum that do not contact each other? Because, like, I know other ducts, and it's aluminum to aluminum contact, and then a little piece of acrylic in there. Oh, it's an actual mid-piece. Then I assume it would make the top case sound more high-pitched than the bottom case. As a matter of fact, the bottom case would do very little, because it'd be top-mounted, right? Well, the stabs sound better. That's problem number 1 solved. Oh wait, spacebar. That's a decent PBT spacebar. I mean, it's a 6.25, but... So this spacebar sounds like... I mean, it sounds like a Korean spacebar. Okay. Well, that's partially solved. We just have to not put it in the case, and then it'll sound fine. All right, now that the stabs are cleaned up a little bit, I'll give you a sound test out of the case. And if anybody complains about focus, I swear to fucking God. It helps when microphone on. Is table integrated keyboard the next move? Oh, yes. I mean, these are GAT Brown, so they're not going to sound like the best Switch ever. But we're keeping that into consideration. Can you show us the rubber pads on the top case? Yes. Sure can. And what's interesting is they're only on the top case, not on the bottom. Which it would have made more sense. Normal GAT or GAT Pro? I assume they're pros. If there is a brown. But the top is not milky, it's clear. So they might be KS 3, 4, 7, whatever. So check that out. I can actually just pull one out. Let me pull one out. Yeah, that's like really in there. That's like super adhered. There we go. Yeah, there we go. So tiny little thing that sticks in tiny little holes like that. This is the Keychron with the double gasket mount thingy. I mean, it's just gasket mount, so yeah. All right, I'm definitely gonna remove all of these. All of these little memes are getting yeeted, bro. Fuck this. These serve no beneficial purpose. If anything, they only cause problems, so we're gonna pull them all out. Like, this is not the approach to try and resolve a sound issue at all. This is a terrible way to try and approach a sound issue, in my opinion. What is the next YouTube video? It's the Keychron review. I just haven't had time to shoot it. I mean, I wasn't rushed because, like, the plan was, like, for me to actually review it before the group buy, but then the group buy happened before I reviewed it, so I was like, fuck it. I assume those rubbers are force brake mod. Yes, but they're not helping. Not in a case like this. They're not being helpful at all. I mean, I might be wrong. It might sound terrible. Or, like, more terrible. But I doubt it. I think we can actually get this unit to sound okay. Again, I forgot the music. Why is nobody ever telling me? You guys are bad viewers. Okay, there we go. So that's all the meme foam removed. Fantastic. The next step, if I had the tools, would be to actually remove all these alignment pillars. Like, I assume they're just CNC'd. And then, like, this piece of plastic is just glued on top. I'm assuming glued, but they might be screwed, so let's find out. Yeah, no, they're glued. This thing is not rotating at all. Yeah, this thing is not moving. I mean, like, we don't need alignment pillars that physically go through a plate. I understand having, like, alignment pillars for alignment, and they exist. If we look at the case bottom, after I remove this fucking nonsense, it's also not doing anything useful. So, if we look at the bottom, we can see that these are for the gaskets. However, there are tiny little alignment nubs right there and right there. And those are the only two. Oh, no, and there's one here. So, alignment pillars exist in the case. I don't need alignment pillars that go through the PCB. I would if I had no side mounting points. That is to avoid the plate drifting horizontally. The video is too dark. I'll make it less dark. There. That is one step less dark. But now anything white is gonna blind you. Like this. Flashbang out. It's not my fault the board is black, okay? Alright, let's put the case top on the case bottom and see if it does anything weird. That's fine. That's fine, dude. Okay. So we removed the nonsense force brake foam. Sorry, rubber. These we can't get at because I wouldn't be able to do them cleanly, even if I had a Dremel. Why are there 3 random holes? This sounds weirdly inconsistent as a solid piece of aluminum. You guys hear that? Listen to this. Interesting. Metal, yeah, but there's like a weird sound around this area. I assume it's because of this hole, but like, it's a surprising amount. Hmm. What instrument is that? It's the keyboard, bro. All right. What happens if I just place this in here? Okay, there's a little bit of mobility, but obviously it's not mounted to the top case yet, right? Yeah, so due to the through plate alignment pillar, it allows me to manipulate the plate by moving the top case, which, okay, fine, that makes sense. But like, there isn't that much play once you get it up in there. It unironically sounds so much better. Oh my god, it unironically... Okay, just so you guys believe me. It's not fully assembled yet, but just so you guys believe me, I'm not crazy. Okay? To everybody that was like, oh, Simon, why are you undoing the force break memes? It's obviously a bad fucking idea. All we did was lube the stabs and remove the fucking nonsense rubber. It is not yet screwed together. That is the next step. You haven't screwed it in? Wouldn't force break only make a difference then? To some extent, yes, but like, there is contact between the top and bottom right now. Remove the case foam. Does it short? We'll find out. I'm going to start by just doing the center for. What is that? Oh, it's the fucking mic. Can you explain force break? It's like when I pull my nuts out and I force break them on your face. Got him. I haven't put the daughter board in, by the way, so like I do have to take it apart again. But like, there's no point on that if it's gasket mounted properly, which it is. It is gasket mounted properly. Sounds fucking fine. I'll give you actual auditory evidence. Yeah, we tried it stock as soon as we got it out of the box, and it was bad. Like, it sounded bad. There we go. I'm so confused. I'm not. I looked at it. I'm like, this is obviously a fucking bad implementation. It's gasket mount. It's gasket mount. Gasket mount benefits from having a case where the case top touches the case bottom. How do I explain this? Alpha sound a wee bit thin. Well, I assume they're not lubed. Let me validate. We'll pull a switch out. Because these are browns. Like, I don't think browns would be, like, factory lubed at all. Come on. Fuck. I'm gonna have to use their little keycap puller. Switch puller. God damn it, I keep getting them confused. How's the typing feeling? For 150 bucks? Fantastic. For an actual, like, high-end keyboard? Again, it doesn't have, like, switches I would theoretically enjoy. And caps I would theoretically enjoy. Oh yeah, that is not at all looped. I mean, we can just put Gap Pros in it. Yeah, these are Gap Browns. This are the K8. For out of the box, like typing experience, K8, 100%. Put linears in it? Yeah, sure. Let's do that. No, I'm gonna keep the stock caps. No matter what I do, I'm gonna keep the stock caps. Because like the stock caps are fine. They sound fine. They don't feel fine because I don't like sculpted or spherical, but you know. Do they include alpha, tilde, and pipe? No. Why am I disassembling? Because the daughter board's not in there. We simply put some screws in there just to validate that my modifications were warranted. And I was correct, as the Lord intended. How's the stock caps profile? It's a weird profile. It's like, it's between like DSA, SA, and like Cherry. It's weird. It's like the nonsense Rama key profile. I don't like caps like these personally, because if you're not pressing this the cap perfectly in the center, you're hitting the edge, and the edges are sharp. How does the Q3 taste? It tastes like a Q3 for sure. Oh, I can taste the person that put this in the box. I read post that Q3 had issues with sockets coming loose. I mean, we have support on the back, but that's kind of sus. This looks like it's almost the same PCB as the K8, but it's not the same PCB. Almost, but not there. So like things I wish this actually had: one, Win keyless support. Two, like you can buy the bare bones kit, right? But the bare bones kit still forces you to use a normie layout. So like, what is the point? Yeah, like Win keyless is never happening for this, but like, if you're gonna offer a $150 kit, okay, let's say hypothetically you are gonna offer this as like a $140, $150 kit with no switches, no caps, right? Give me a fucking solderable PCB. Just do it. And then people can have the option. And then you make a wing keyless top for people that actually want wing keyless. You know, like it's not going to be a huge amount, but if you're trying to, you know, be that jumping off point for people that are new to the hobby but want that customizability, I think that's important. Because like, imagine like, look how big this fucking right shift is. You know, some people like to split their right shift on a TKL. Target audience won't be willing to solder. The target audience of this should buy the K8. There is no reason that somebody should buy an aluminum keyboard, in my opinion. If you are buying a keyboard just because it's aluminum, instead of because it's acoustically tuned and well finished and quality controlled, then what the fuck are you doing? You're literally just buying an aluminum keyboard because it's made of aluminum. So, like, the K8 is fucking fantastic, especially from a value proposition. Yeah, like ISO support. There's no ISO support. Just any kind of fucking support would be nice. I know that means that you lose hot swap, but that's fine. Like, it depends who you're trying to actually get. And to be fair, for the price, the caps are actually really good. It's just I hate the profile. Like, for the price, these are good caps. Like, you're paying $20 for these. They're pretty fucking good. Chinese keycap support for wing keyless isn't good. That may be true. However, they're already making these keysets. Like, how much more expensive is it to throw on a 1.5U bottom row mod and a 7U spacebar? It can't possibly impact your bottom line that hard. Plus, again, like, normies are still gonna build it normie layout. That's fine. I'm just saying, for the actual, like, bare bones version of this, at least offer, like, some sort of layout support, you know? How's that mouse? Do I think it's worth it? I mean, now the prices have come down a lot. It's a good mouse. It's a good mouse. The battery lasts a really, really, really long time. It's like a decently, like, precise mouse. Most mice are totally fine, like, sensor-wise. You know, like, people that, like, lose their shit over sensors are dumbasses, because I bet you grab any fucking, like, pro gamer and you give him a Hello Kitty mouse from fucking Walgreens and he will stomp your ass. Why am I being so nice? Am I? That's news to me. No alcohol? I mean, I'm working on this beer. It hurts my soul when people build a nice custom TKL with normie bottom row. That's where you're wrong. That's where you're fucking up. That's your mistake. I want the choice, okay? If somebody is into high-end customs and all that customizability and wants a normie bottom row, they should be allowed to have that. Just as I, who wants a Sangan bottom row, should be allowed to have that as well. That's my argument. I mean, normie bottom row is fine. You get a lot of keys on the bottom row. It's functional. I'm actually going to keep the foam between the plate and the PCB because steel plate. It needs it. So I'm not a fan of fixed layouts on high-end customs. There should never be a fixed layout on a custom. You understand my logic there. If it is a custom, you should be able to have whatever fucking layout you want. There should be good layout support. I should be able to split my backspace. I should be able to split my right shift. I should be able to support ISO. I could even split my spacebar if I wanted to. Like, it's a custom. It should be customizable. If I can't customize a custom, then what are we even fucking doing? Well, Jules was hot swap, was it not? I'm talking about boards with a solderable PCB. Hot swap PCBs should definitely be fixed. Or was Jules solder? If it was solder, then there's no reason it shouldn't have decent layout support. What do I think about multi-layout support hot swap, but with some north facing? I mean, that's interesting. But, like, Hasn't that historically gone down quite poorly? Because all like, in order to actually get nice secure sockets, trying to like flip flop to very close locations, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. I'll be honest with you. Like I love the possibility of getting more options, but then again, I fucking hate hot swap. I say is like I very easily take switches out of a board and then replace them, but still, like for me, hot swap is a exploration phase. You know, when you're bi-curious, okay, not straight up batting for the other team. That's when you go hot swap. But then eventually you find out what you like, and then you go with a permanent solution. Yeah, and for a break-in board as well. Like, I think this has the possibility to sound like way fucking better. Mods time me out for asking no foam choice in foam boards. Well, I mean, my take on how foam should be like actually put into like a board for like an actual custom, not something like this that's basically an OEM, is foam should be an additional thing, even if it costs like 12 cents more. Make it very clear that it's an addition, not part of the kit. Because if people think it's part of the kit, people are going to build with it, not knowing that it's not a requirement. I'm thinking either buying a QK65 or a Q3. I know the Q3 is a TKL, but I don't care for the extra keys. Just from a quality standpoint, which one is better? I would go for the QK, personally, because the price point is kind of wild. Like, if you want to buy a Keychron, like, thus far, I would still take a K8 over this, even though it's plastic. And that's not a bad thing. It sounds better. To be fair, though, this feels better. But from a normie perspective, the K8 is better, because normies don't actually care about feel. Thoughts on Q1, Q2 versus Q3? I don't know. I've only tried 2 Keychrons in my entire life, which were the K8 and this baby right here. So, okay. Does this come apart? Okay, I feel like I'm about to snap this in half. Oh, there's standoffs. Okay, there's hella standoffs. I'm not even gonna bother removing them. Fuck it. Oh. All right, let's grab some GAT Pros, I guess. Remove plate foam. I actually want to keep the plate foam. Because one, steel plate. Two, we've kind of tested it out in terms of like acoustics with the plate foam, and it works. And again, steel plate. Is there PCB foam? Yes, there is. Yes, the song is called They Are Coming. Just like I'm about to be. Are the GAT Pros lube? Yes, they are factory lube, and they're pretty good. Nice. Good thing I bought 1,000 GAT Pros. Yep, I want more. They've actually been really, really, really handy. The nice thing about GAT Pros is you can literally just throw a decent loop switch into any board, and they're a good benchmark for like comparisons. Like if I want to compare 2 boards and stick with this, I can have a decent loop switch of a decent weight that's a decent quality and actually compare 2 boards. I believe they were 22 or 23 cents each when I got them. I actually keep the springs. I mean, for now, it's because like convenience. Like if I'm building a permanent board, I'm using GAT-X, not GAT Pro. This is mostly for review boards that I'm not keeping. Review boards that I don't really care much about. So like I built the angle with GAT Pros because I didn't expect the angle to be good, and then it actually was good. And then I kind of started enjoying the GAT Pros, so. GAT Pros are actually so good for the price. Yeah, all the switches I buy are actually really good for the price because I actually care about the price of switches, and I don't buy $1.30 switches for memes. Okay, I'm actually being careful with the pins because now that somebody made me incredibly fucking paranoid about the sockets, we're doing this proper. GAT CJ is really nice. Click jacket? What? Oh, China Joy. I mean, Gateron has historically made a lot of really good switches. You know? And honestly, listen, if cherries were still 21 or 22 cents each, I'd default to cherries, you know? But they've inflated their fucking prices for no reason beyond the fact that they can. And that's a dick move. I don't appreciate when companies do that. Like, I haven't personally bought a single cherry switch since they were 21 cents. China Glides are 24? Yeah. Is there any risk of shorting the board by putting in switches while keeping the board plugged in? In theory, there is no real risk, but you should just unplug the board. Because like worst case scenario, you're going to be pressing the switch as you push it in. It's just going to activate the switch as if you were pressing it. If it's a really, really bad PCB with no sort of protection mechanism, then probably avoid that. For verifying pin alignment with the hot swap socket, literally before I assemble it, I'm going to plug in the daughter board and just check them all. Prices have been higher because vendors wanted a cut on the Hyperglide hype. No, they have been expensive since 2018 or 2019, after Krellbit bought the entire stock from Arrow. I blame Krellbit. I'm sorry, Krellbit. You did this. Well, you have to understand that the difference between 21 cents and 30 cents is nearly 50%. So imagine a keyboard was $500 and now it's $750. You're going to be like, fuck, that's a big amount. And so is a cherry switch being that expensive. Like, you don't feel it unless you're buying 1,000 or like 2,000, which I generally would do. But even if you're buying a smaller amount, you're still getting fucked just as hard. So like when cherries are back down to like at least 22 cents, I'll pick up a large amount. Because for me, that is a fair price for cherries. Because the alternative is I can buy Milky Top Gatorons for 13 to 15 cents each from Taobao. And they're good. Favorite Switch NY, exclamation German fetish. And I don't need to tell you why as soon as you read what the Switch is. Cherry being made in EU and Gateron being made in China must have an effect on price. It does, but like we can argue for two things, okay? We can argue that the underlying material cost has gone up, in which case, why haven't Gaterons gone up? So that's out the window. Or two, the actual man-hour cost has gone up. And if the man-hour cost has gone up, that's okay. If you're going to, at the very least, for my additional 50% money, offer me better quality control, better consistency, better spring consistency. But none of those happened. Like, variance and quality control has gone downhill for Cherry. Do I even own German Vins? Of course I do. What weird fucking question is that? I have 1984 West German Vins in my Viper that have been broken in, cherry-picked, placed into OG cherry-picked Zeal housings, filmed with OG Korean films, lubed with a 103-107 hand mix, and with cherry-picked OG Gateron springs. Back when, OG Gateron yellow springs. Back when the springs actually were something special. Now they're not. Now they're just a decent weight. But before, when they were a lot more linear in terms of spring feel. Wait, do I have that in there or do I have K-Max springs? I'm not sure. It's one of those. OG films sound like bullshit? No, I mean like non-thok films, just like normal paper films. OG kin films or stickers? They're stickers. Would I take cherries over new old stock Blue Alps? Well, it depends on the build, dude. You have to understand that like a keyboard has personality. A keyboard has style. Like sometimes like I'll pick up a board, I'll pull it out of the box, I'll put like one switch in it, I'll be like, this would be fantastic with clickies. Or pull out another board and be like, this would be fantastic with linears. You kind of just like gauge what would feel best. And then depending on that, you pick what you're gonna pick. All right, let me do this row and then I'll kiss my alligator. Plastic keyboard for clicky? That's not true. When I got my Aru, which I love, by the way, the Aru is fantastic with clickies. With linears, not so much. Like, I originally built it with clickies because the second like I saw it, I'm like, this would work with clickies. And I built it with clickies. And then I kind of second-guessed myself and rebuilt it with linears, and it's terrible. Like, it's a board that is made for clickies. What about tactiles? By Topra. Or Alps. Alligator. For me, I would never go with an MX tactile. You know? Like, all my tactile boards have always been either Alps or Topra. Because, like, fuck it. Like, I don't know. Like, MX tactile isn't for me. Speaking of cherries, I know a black, red, brown have the same linear leaf, and blues have a tactile leaf. How about MX clears? Or greens? I think greens use blue leaves, clears use standard leaves. Don't quote me on that, I think. Did I see the full brass Aru? Yes. Did I get a batch of clickies? A batch of clickies is like the cost of literally a keyboard. Why would I spend money on that? Vin keys. MX have tactiles? Yeah, bro. Vin Browns. Fucking got him. Fucking baited. Fucking mousetrap, bro. I got you. I got you. Trying to falsify the existence of Vin Browns. Clickies are even more tactile than Alps, lol. Well, if that were true, which it's not, because you've never tried brown Alps or neon green Alps in proper condition. Even if that were true, okay? A MX tactile leaf and stem leg rely on friction as you press down in order to create the tactility, which means by default it's scratchy, you know? Topra is beautiful because like the tactility is made by the key press itself, not by rubbing on something. Hall effect switches when we get Hall effect PCBs. Clickies use Alps leaf. Clickies use Alps style leaf. And yes, that means that they might compare to a lower tier Alps tactile, like a salmon or an orange, but they will never compare to a neon green or a brown. Doesn't that include Alps too? It's a more complicated thing. It's not a direct thing. The stem itself does not actually hit anything. There's a secondary. God damn it. Why are you not going in? Okay, it just doesn't go in the hole. Is an 86U for $200 worth it? Yeah, for sure, if it's clean. And especially if it's white. Okay, bro, you gotta get in there. Stop being a pussy. The swag's trying to fucking bait people into his house. Nice. Alright, we're getting there. Yeah, I smell something that smells like burning electronics. And I really hope it's not like something expensive. If one of my cameras turns off, everyone panic. Alright. So we're going to be smart, and the first thing we're going to do is actually test all the switches before we fully assemble the PCB. Or fully assemble the case part. Alright, where is my daughter board? Donde es el daughter board? There it is. Oh god, Sammy scared the shit out of me. Don't even do that. Okay, there we go. And we do a little plugging in. Beautiful. And VIA. Where's my VIA? It's already open. Perfect. Alright, I'll let you guys watch my shame. So if I fuck something up, you guys can see live. What? Why is that a left win? That's my scroll lock key. Am I on Mac mode? Let's find out. Well, I guess I'm not. Okay. We'll get to that. It's probably just something weird with the key map. Is restoring sussy China Alps worth it? I wouldn't personally. This is going way too smooth for a Simon stream, right? We actually got a keyboard. We like made it better, and nothing lit on fire. No key sounds? What do you mean? What do you mean? All right. It's just so heavy. It catches me off guard. Boom. Just get it up in there. Get it up in there. Oh yeah. Nice. What about the burning electronic smell? It's fine. At this point, I can't smell it. My eyes just burn a little bit, so it's fine. This is fine. Where the fuck are the screws for the daughter board? Okay, where actually are the screws for the daughter board? Because they should be somewhere around here, but they're not. Hello? Screws. Screws? Well, there's one. Found one. Oh, and there's the other. Okay, we got it. Alright, where is our Phillipsy boy? There he is. Do a little Phillipsing. Oh shit. Forgot to put the switch in. You see, I'm actually paying attention, which means I have not drank nearly enough alcohol this stream. What is the cutout on the left even for? You mean this one? Or you mean this one? Because this one is to allow the JST cable to be the correct size. This, I have no idea. Like, that has no purpose besides just fucking up the sound. Like, the only purpose of that is to ruin the sound. Because it doesn't match up with the grounding point. It matches up with nothing. If I had to be a school teacher, what grades would I teach and what would I teach? Well, I'd obviously teach science, right? Because anything else would be too obscene. How is the ano? It's good. It's good for black ano, which, like, to be fair, like I say, it's hard to fuck up black ano, but you'd be surprised. It's good. It's fine. Like, obviously, it's gonna be ruined forever because I touched it once because I have cursed hands, but it's fine. I heard you can change port position. No. The back only has one hole in it. Nice try. So what grade would I teach? I cannot handle children. I cannot handle adults. I cannot handle senior citizens. I'm incapable of teaching, like, actual people. You should teach alligator care. Even then, I'm okay with, like, people learning shit and, like, me teaching people shit, but, like, I don't want to have to, like, deal with people, if you know what I mean. Like, if it's a school where, like, if people didn't want to be there, they could just fuck off, I would teach any grade, any class. I don't care. Why not adults? Because, again, it depends on, like, if people want to be there or not. If people want to be there, like, I'll teach anything. Good. Yeah, I don't want to babysit. Teaching at a university seems... I mean, I don't want to teach. I want to, like, do shit. I just watched your soldering guide, really enjoyed it. Did you watch it for enjoyment, or did you watch it for information? I hope you watched it for information. Like, oh yes, my enjoyment is watching 34-minute long soldering guides. You know? Alright, so... Do I give my input now? No, I'll give my input after I've put the caps on and typed on it in its final form. Okay, let's make sure that nothing is shorted and nothing is weird. Yep, it all tabs just fine. Isn't the desk mat turned 180 degrees? It's actually turned 720 degrees. So, yeah. L, so boom, boom, boom. Ints. Put real caps on it? No, I actually want to try it with these caps. Because I know that GAT Pro Yellow is a thing that you can actually get. So, realistically, like, the way that I'm approaching this is, can a person do this with standard tools in hand? So, get the GAT Pro Yellows, use the stock caps, literally just use a kitchen knife to remove all the dumb fucking rubber on the inside, force break, right? And then just yeet the foam off, because they give you tools to open this up. If we can actually make it a decent sounding keyboard without needing additional materials, besides like a little bit of lube, which you can get for $3, then mission accomplished. Can we try good caps after? We can try good caps when I get my fucking CRP, because I don't want to take caps off a board. I'm over it. I bought any Xiaomi yet? I wanted to until the prices fucking doubled. Now I'm never buying it. Can you PE foam mod this? So, judging by how thin the foam is that is actually under the... Oh, we never tested it for shorting. See if it actually shorts. It does not. It does not short. So, there's a tiny little piece of foam and a shorting thing on the bottom that is not at all necessary. Krytox versus Superloop dielectric grease for tuning stabs. Also, do I do any mods for stabs? That's a really good question. I actually have a 30-something minute long guide on the stab basics on my YouTube channel, which you should watch because YouTube Simon is actually helpful. But what I do is a mixed loop job. What I'll do is I'll use 205 grade 0 for the plastic to plastic connections, and then I'll use super lube for the metal to plastic connection in order to just save on using expensive lube. And then I use an applicator as well, which I show in my video as well. If I had that board, I would have removed the standoffs to see if it shorts. I wouldn't want to remove the standoffs with something like this, honestly. Like, so if it was a flexi plate, yes, I would remove standoffs, but it's not a flexi plate. This is a bouncy plate. So that means when I press down, the entirety of the plate goes down and up together. If it was a flexi plate where I press in the center and the center goes down more than the rest, then yee. QWERT. Wait, the fuck? Oh, that's a 9. Wow, I just got fucking debated. So that's the 6. That's the 9. Ah, I got debated. Boom, boom, 0, 9. Hey, I mean, 69, so easy. Secret AzRT user? How, what do you mean? Why would it be a secret? So why you? Numbers do be shifted? I mean, they're not. It still goes 1, 2, 3, 4. You just have your Z here and your Q here. I'm so sad this isn't Sangan. Me too. That's like my biggest disappointment in this. Is like, can I please have a layout that doesn't suck dicks? For me. A layout that doesn't suck dicks for me. Del. We do a little del. Yeah, I'm gonna assume this is an O. I assumed correctly. Wait. Fuck, it could go either way. Well, if it feels weird, I'll flip it. I'm gonna be like that person with the weird Z and N problem. My Z and N are rotated 90 degrees, guys. Is it like that? If they're doing an HHKB, yeah, I saw. It's expensive, though. I wouldn't take it personally. Like, it's the same price as actually picking up a proper HHKB from Japan. Like, at that point, like, it's not a fair value proposition. And I'm all about that value proposition, baby. Propose me some value. Wait, was that not a troll post? I don't believe it. Okay, G, H, J, K. Oh, here's my sideways Z, guys. The Q5, Q6 is what I'm more excited about. I mean, hopefully the input that I give on this will trickle down into like later revisions of their TKL. Because like literally this with like the most minor modifications and a slight design change can actually be like a super solid kit. Am I picking up a QK65? I'm not. I rarely buy boards like because they cost money. So like I'll only go for boards like I really need to have, like the glare. Also more of a TKL guy than a 65 guy. Like I need my main layer arrows and full nav for work. Like for home doesn't really matter, but like I rarely ever type at home. Are they watching the stream? No. So it's kind of complicated. Like there was a third party, and the third party is involved in the design process, and he asked for my input. So he then contacted Keychron to have them send me a board. So the general plan is I'll give him the notes on why this sounded bad, how to fix it in this current revision, things to do in the future, and hopefully they do those things. It'd be good to see. It'd be good to see. I don't have super high hopes, you know, because, you know, I've been hurt too many times. Am I keeping the board? I have yet to figure out what I'm going to do with the board, but this is a board that's literally so cheap that shipping it back is more than the value of the board. So it might just be disappeared, as in I don't get to keep it, but it's going to go somewhere. Yeah, fuck this. I'm not using the option key. Am I joining the Glare TKL group buy? Yes, I 100% will be. I've been excited for the Glare for a long time. All right, so Windows where I actually use it. Alt where I actually use it. I don't have a key here normally, so I'll just put some dumb shit like option or whatever there. Show us the page these nuts right there. What makes the Glare special for me? It's $440 and it weighs 4.4 kilos unbuilt. I am not a huge fan of super high angle boards like 11 degrees, but I love a nice thick boy board, you know? I do like them thick. Am I gonna choose the CEM PCB for Glare? If I don't have a PCB on hand, then yes. Windows upside down. Wait, no it's not. Nice try. It's not. Like, the design is upside down, I guess. What color? I don't even know what the colors are. I'll be honest with you. So, for makers, I really like. For boards, I'm actually super excited about. I don't show myself any of the information, so I can be pleasantly surprised when it actually arrives. I don't know. I'm fucking weird, dude. I don't use control. I use control here. It's called Unix control. And Windows here. And normally I don't have a key here. So I have Alt, Windows, Control. And to those asking, Simon, where is your caps lock? It's on a layer, because I never use it. Like, it's usually function tab. Okay, where's my meta key? Is there no meta? Well, that's an alt, so I guess we'll just use an option. Did I get the Phoenix? I did not. It was expensive, good, but expensive, and I didn't have money, so it was a no-brainer. Oh, there's my up arrow. It actually sounds pretty good. I use right shift but not caps lock. Well, listen, if so, like developers will use caps lock, right? Like often. I don't develop. Like the only time I'm typing in all caps is if I'm angry, and if I'm angry, I'm holding both fucking shifts as I type. I'm fucking committed. All right, small little beer. All right, we're gonna hang out, and I'm gonna get the files necessary. So I'm gonna go to Keychron. Oh, my caps lock is on. I'm going to custom keyboards Q3. Okay, so you can actually pick keycaps. That's pretty cool. Okay, I want firmware. Give me my fucking firmware, bro. Got it. Okay. Via, design, load, desktop. I'm already on desktop. K3. There we go. Configure. Wait. Oh, did I press knob? I did. Non-knob. My bad. My bad. Okay, so version 1.03. Thank you, guys. Hey, there we go. All right, first I want to see if my F1 is an F1. It is, okay. So it's layer 1 that I'm customizing. Or layer 2? I think it's layer 2 that I'm customizing. Ah, yeah, Cortana. Yep. Okay, let's double check. Let's just go here and set that as left control. Yep, okay, we're good. So left control there, left win there. That's print, that's going to be scroll lock, that's going to be pause. Okay, on this fuck RGB toggle, this is my caps lock now. Okay, we're good. Nice. Let's see how much we've gotten it improved. First, let's listen to what it sounded like before, to all of you that were not in the stream before. Oh, do I just fuck with myself? I'm gonna fuck with myself. Oh, do I just fuck with myself? I'm gonna fuck with myself. Oh, do I just fuck with myself? I'm gonna fuck with myself. Oh, do I just fuck with myself? I'm gonna fuck with myself. Okay, that's enough. I assume it'll be in clips if somebody clipped it. If it's not, I'm gonna be disappointed. Simon Kuhn. How I got banned off Simon Court. Hot gator kissing. Okay, let's look at today's. Okay, Q, okay. Q3 inconsistent case, Q3 without case, taste test, taste test, taste test. Oh wait, that's the name of the stream, isn't it? I guess we just go earlier in the VOD. Fancy restaurant or some shit. Oh, dumpy. All right. And in terms of smoothness, it's not like mega. before this. I remember. With my Brian. There. To kind of like... Come on, Simon. Type on the keyboard, you cuck. Why am I not typing on the keyboard? This is a keyboard stream. You're experiencing how you feel? Ah, there we go. We're good. All right. Sound test, sound test. Where's my sound test button? There's. Nice. Not in focus. Thank you, Treeleaf. Okay, so that's what it sounded like before. And now, the new and improved Keychron Q3 that I was able to modify very quickly. There you go. We have improved it. How did we improve it? 1, we lubed the stabs. 2, we removed the foam and the anti-bottom layer so you don't accidentally short your PCB. And most importantly, we removed the force break mod, the piece of rubber between the top piece and the bottom piece, which should not have fucking been there in the first place. It's an easy mod. We removed it with a sharp blade. And that's it. We made it sound significantly fucking better. Yeah. It's almost like I know what I'm doing. Can you believe it? Because I sure can't. The hollow sound was not from me removing foam. The removal of the hollow sound was me bridging the top case to the bottom case as they should have been originally. All of the rubber pieces that were keeping the top case from reaching the bottom case meant that all of the airborne vibration within the case when you typed, so all of the like floating around sound, right, were being dissipated by the bottom and the top independently, meaning the top was making the top sound, the bottom was making the bottom sound, instead of them making one homogeneous sound. Can I tap the case? I mean, without a comparison, it's not gonna sound like anything. Can we get spacebar spam? Sure. No, we cannot have good keycaps. Only these. But yeah, like it was a very easily solvable problem. What did we need? We needed like a screwdriver, which this comes with a screwdriver. We needed a tiny little tube of lube that you get for $4, and we needed to remove all of this shit. So the tiny thing that protects the bottom, this completely useless foam that does nothing, and this rubber for the force break mod. And that's it. We made it good. what I would like to see from a design aspect, because like this can be solved like fucking that. Something that also like removed is the alignment pins that literally go through the plate. We've made it sound good, but I feel like it could sound even better without those alignment pins, because what's actually happening when you type is a very small amount of your, not airborne vibration, but your case vibration of you actually typing on the plate transfers up that tiny little alignment pillar and then diffuses into the top case, which should not be the case, because we want the top and the bottom to work together, right? And if you're feeding it directly to the top, it's going to sound more high-pitched than the bottom. Would I still recommend getting a Keychron without knowing how to mod it, like what you did with this K3? If you don't know what you're doing, buy the K8. Buy the K8. Out of the box, it's fucking fantastic. For me, I removed all of the mods in the K8 to make it sound more like something I would enjoy, but the standard K8 Pro out of the box is bam, amazing. What are the mounting points on the sides of the plate for? I never really understood. Do they actually do anything significant? Well, in the case of something that's gasket mount, right? You have no fixed placement, right? So like theoretically, if you don't have anything holding the plate on the left and right, then you get drift. And the best example I can actually give you is the angle. All right, so check out the drift on this, right? Like I'll zoom in a bit more so like it's more obvious. So that's left-right drift. So generally, like, if you're going to do a gasket mount, you do have side mounting points. Because the point of a gasket is not to flex, it's to bounce. Which means as I press down, the entire plate moves up and down. So having side mounting points is actually fantastic for gasket. It's not a problem at all. If you have a tight enough gasket, you don't need that because it's not going to drift unless you're like fisting it. Unironically, the K3 sounds better than the Angle, with like our 1 hour long modification that basically anyone can fucking do, assuming you have super loop. Need more O-ring mount TKLs? I mean, O-ring mount TKLs, some of them have been done well, most of them have not. Does it feel okay? It feels okay. It's a steel plate. It's a steel plate, and I wish it wasn't a steel plate. I wish it was like an alu plate, like a 5052 alu plate. The downside with the 5052 alu plate is it needs to be fully CNC'd. With a steel plate, they can just stamp it, and it's very clear that this is probably stamped, because who the fuck is gonna CNC a steel plate? Is there a lot of plate travel? No, there's like very little plate travel. There's a good amount of plate, there's a good amount of bounce, like an actual decent amount of bounce. Here, I'll show you the comparison. So here I have the Angle, which is known to be a very bouncy boy. So that's the Angle. And this is the Q3. Keep in mind, I'm using a large amount of force. So like while typing, this is as much as you're actually gonna get. Okay, be wary when people show you like a bounce or flex test like this. Like you're never gonna press a keyboard this hard. If you're typing super hard, that's as far as it's gonna move. Here's me typing normally on the Angle. Like you see, there is movement, but it's not to the degree of like if you're shoving it up in there. But yeah, this is surprisingly nice. If you lube the stabs, you remove the nonsense fucking rubber that's put in there, and you could keep the foam inside. It's not doing anything. Like the inside foam literally does nothing. Just by looking at it, you can tell. Like from an acoustic standpoint, like what sound is this gonna stop? Do I sound like I'm foamed? Obviously fucking not. if I were to compare that with an actual piece of foam and put that over my mouth, you can actually hear a little bit of a difference. With this, like literally nothing happens. It's like air. It doesn't foam very goodly. Oh. Okay, so we've looked at it, we fixed it. I'm going to use it for a while, probably at the office. Can you decide who the designer is that asked for my input? No. I mean, maybe. I don't know. Off topic, but thoughts on Satisfaction 75? I am not a 75% enjoyer. As a matter of fact, I'm a 75% hater. So ask someone else that can give you your confirmation bias. Ooh. Thoughts on Ciel? I assume that's going to be in the recap sheet. Exclamation recap. I'm certain I've covered it. Do I use a brush for the dielectric or just dip the wires into the grease? What I do is I use the nozzle. I get nice and deep in there and I just squeeze it and it goes. Thoughts on the Sagittarius? It's nice. I enjoy a board where it can have 67 knobs. Will you kiss my gator? Wow. What plate did I use on my Brown Alps build? It was an AEK64, so it was an integrated plate, like a 3mm integrated plate, which is fine. Like, sometimes for a really, really tactile plate, really, really tactile build, you want a stiff plate, because then it's just, you know? You feel me? I actually like this keyboard now that like we fixed it. And it honestly was not that hard to fix. Can you review this? You were too drunk on Sunday? You know what pisses me off so much? What pisses me off so much is like Omega made the Speedmaster like Moonwatch once, okay, in the 70s, and it was so successful. Now they come out with a fucking Moonwatch every year, and one of these Moonwatches is actually worth a lot of money, the original one, and everything after that is literally fucking garbage. Also, this is Swatch, so like I wouldn't buy this. I'd buy a Omega Speedmaster Racing, which is the 40mm variant. Like this I would actually buy, because like this you can get for a decent price. Where's it? 44. Okay, it's discontinued, but you can probably get it on like Chrono 24. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, so like this is like not huge on the wrist, and it's a nice watch. It's a good chrono. So for reference, this is like $4,000, which is great for a nice Omega chrono, honestly. Here, let me put it in the correct currency. Yeah, about $4,000. Like this I'd buy, you know. It's decent. It's a decent watch. Like a fucking Swatch, dude. Why? Why? Like, Swatch has never been like the hallmark of quality or anything. Omega has had some good shit, you know? And I assume the movement in this will be Omega, but like, still, I don't want to buy a fucking Swatch for thousands of dollars. Wait, this is $200? Is it quartz? Yeah, it's quartz. Yeah, it may as well be $3. It may as well be $3 because it costs $3 for a fucking quartz movement. A proper automatic movement with chrono, like a good one, costs good money. There, I kissed Gator. Are you happy? Just get a Rolex. I mean, there are plenty of good watches that are not Rolexes. Like my favorite chrono is actually my IWC. It's an old pilot model from like 2002. It's fucking great. I got it for like $2,000. Show knife. Is a good knife. For budget guys, this is pretty cool. No, it is not. It is not. If you have $200, buy a fucking Orient. Get an Orient Bambino for $200. Get one of these. Fucking decent watch. Good fucking movement. $140. Or get a decent Psycho. If you only want to spend $200, at least get good value for your $200. Like, don't buy memes. Quartz? No, these are auto. Well, the Bambino is auto. I don't know about the rest. No!
You guys have many choices in keyboard
Why do you
strings.
fucking rate me
You
now
made
when
the
I'm
wrong
ending my
choice.
stream? Well, listen, guys. We took a Keychron Q3, and it sounded like balls, and we made it sound like something not balls. Okay? It's pretty good. Turned out pretty good. Sound test? I will sound test for you right now. I will do a old versus new comparison. And I'm going to do it in the biggest brain way by literally just rewinding my stream and watch with you guys. Fuck, I need new IEMs. My left one is broken. Well, it's just a clip that's broken. There we go. All right, let's turn this baby up. Go full auto. Boom. All right, detective. Okay, if I do this and I skip to relief, the sound is a big brain. Watch my big brain. There. To kind of like, come on, Simon. Come on, Simon. It's a keyboard stream. No, we're good. Okay, so this is before. All right. Sound test, sound test. Where's my sound test button? There's. Nice. So this was right out of the box. Not in focus. Thank you, Treeleaf. Okay, so that's what it sounded like before. And now, the new and improved Keychron Q3 that I was able to modify very quickly. I mean, the mosque is kind of loud, but you get the idea. So the original switches were GAT Browns, and we managed to make it better without even like modifying the switches. We just flipped the switches because I don't want to use GAT Browns. So I switched to GAT Pro Yellows. But the underlying issues of the ping, the shitty stabs, and the weird case reverb, we were able to fix very easily. We removed a whole bunch of nonsense that was on the internals of the case and made it instantly better using science. So yeah, all right. For everybody that's yelling that I use light mode, I don't watch Twitch. I stream Twitch. So my back end is in dark mode. All right, let's raid Yo Keeves. All right, let's actually find somebody to raid. Un colacao con axozer. Okay. Okay, I don't know. Wait. Oh, I clicked on just chatting instead of makers and crafting. The fuck is wrong with me? Raid ESL? I actually want to watch ESL. Who's playing?
I love it.
Oh my god, your echo is worse than mine. Probably make 1 billion times more money. Where's ESL? Ah, there it is. Wait, no. What? Why is this B? Where's A? There it is.
Of this team, and in the fashion that they've beaten
Heroic versus
complexity,
complexity.
not having to dig too
Fuck it,
deep.
guys, we're
Is
not
this
watching
spelling
keyboards.
Positive
We're
signs for
watching
them here
this.
in Group D.
I would say that this is good for Heroic, and it's what they needed to do in order to take care of business. I think one guy that did an excellent job of taking care of
Or we
business
can-
for the
I mean, it's
Heroic
either
side
this
has
or
to
we
be-
actually
has to be
raid a
Refresh.
keyboard
I think
person.
Refresh. This
Let's see if there's a keyboard person. Okay, that's a keyboard person. What are they doing? Let's find out. Space 80 Apollo. Hey, it's doing proper sound tests and shit. Fuck it. We'll do this, man. English and Phil. I assume that's Filipino. I assume that's the language. Ah. Alright. Let's do some keyboards, baby. Wait, why is it making sounds? Because I'm still watching him. Oh my god, that confused the shit out of me. Confused the living shit out of me. What's the raid message? Just lots of alligators. All of the alligator emotes. Every Ron emote that you can pull out of your back pocket. Sounds like he's going to end the stream. Okay, quick, let's get him. I'll see you guys later this week. Mwah. Or will I? Dun dun dun.